I stood frozen in the doorway of our suburban home, the scent of my daughter's birthday cake still lingering in the air like a mocking ghost. Balloons sagged against the walls, half deflated from the party that had ended hours ago. My 5-year-old, Lily, was asleep upstairs, her tiny chest rising and falling under the pink comforter I'd tucked her into. But downstairs, in the dim glow of the living room lamp, my wife, my Emily, the woman I'd built a life around, was on her knees. Not in prayer, but in desperation, her manicured hands clutching the arm of a stranger. A man, his shirt unbuttoned, her lipstick smeared across his neck like a brand of guilt. Their eyes locked on me, not with horror, but with the cold calculation of animals caught mid-hunt. "It's not what it looks like," she whispered, but her voice cracked like brittle glass. It was exactly what it looked like: betrayal, raw and unfiltered, served on the platter of our family's sacred space. My heart didn't break, it shattered, shards embedding deep, drawing first blood. And in that moment, as rage boiled through my veins, I knew this wasn't the end. It was the spark. The days blurred into a haze of calculated silence after that night. I didn't scream or throw things like in the movies, no dramatic collapse. Instead, I became a shadow in my own home, watching Emily with the precision of a predator sizing up prey. She tried to play the part of the remorseful wife at first, cooking my favorite meals with trembling hands, whispering apologies that tasted like ash. It was a mistake, Tom. One time. For us, for Lily. But I knew better. The late nights at work, the sudden interest in locking her phone. The lies had been building for months, a fortress of deceit she'd constructed right under our roof. And worse, she dragged Lily into it. Our little girl, with her pigtails and endless questions, had become the unwitting shield. "Daddy, Mommy said to tell you she's at Auntie's if you ask," Lily would chirp innocently, her big blue eyes mirroring Emily's. Those same eyes that now darted away from mine in guilt. Revenge didn't come as a thunderclap. It seeped in like venom, slow and inexorable. At first, it was the little things. I started documenting everything. Screenshots of deleted texts pieced together from her carelessly synced iPad, timestamps of her overtime, aligning perfectly with his gym check-ins. His name was Mark Riley, a slick real estate broker with a smile like a shark's fin. I found his profile on LinkedIn, his smug face grinning amid luxury listings. By week 2, I'd hacked into her email. Nothing fancy, just a forgotten password and a few keystrokes fueled by sleepless nights. There they were. Hotel reservations, love letters disguised as client notes. "Can't wait to feel you again, away from the kid," he'd written. The kid. My Lily. The word ignited something primal, a fire that consumed sleep, appetite, reason. Work suffered first. I was a mid-level accountant at a firm downtown, crunching numbers for faceless corporations. But now, every spreadsheet blurred into visions of Emily's laughter echoing from some seedy motel. I'd stare at the screen, fingers hovering over keys, imagining them wrapped around Mark's throat. My boss noticed, the missed deadlines, the vacant stares. "Tom, you okay?" "Family stuff," he'd ask, clapping my shoulder like we were buddies. I nodded, forcing a smile that felt like grinding teeth. But inside, the burden gnawed. This rage wasn't just anger. It was a parasite, feeding on my marrow. Nights, I'd pace the garage, fists clenched until knuckles split, whispering plans to myself. Poison her coffee? No, too quick. Ruin his career? Tempting, but not enough. I wanted them to feel the slow rot, the isolation I'd endured. Lily felt it too, the ripples of my unraveling. She'd climb into my lap during story time, her small hand tracing my jaw. "Daddy sad?" she'd ask, and I'd pull her close, inhaling her baby shampoo scent like an antidote. But even she was tainted by it. Emily's lies had taught her deception too young. One evening, as I tucked her in, she hesitated, clutching her stuffed bear. "Mommy says secrets are fun, but I don't like them." Her voice was a whisper, eyes wide with the weight of adult sins. That night, the parasite twisted deeper. How dare Emily poison our daughter's innocence? The decision crystallized. Revenge wouldn't just be for me. It would be for Lily, a reckoning to purge the filth from our lives. Months ground on, the weight pressing like an iron yoke. Friends drifted, my poker nights canceled, barbecues dodged. "Man up, Tom," my brother Mike said over beer one night, his voice slurred with concern. Divorce her ass and move on. But moving on was surrender, and surrender was death. No, I dragged them down, inch by excruciating inch. I started with Mark. Anonymous tips to his office. Whispers of inappropriate client relations slipped to his boss via a burner email. Nothing concrete, just enough smoke to choke his ambition. I watched from afar as his LinkedIn stagnated. No promotions, no posts. Satisfaction bloomed, bitter and sweet, but it didn't fill the void. It only hungered for more. Emily sensed the shift, her touches turning frantic, desperate. Tom, please, let's go to counseling. For Lily. She'd sob into my chest, and I'd hold her, not in love, but in loathing, feeling her heartbeat like a countdown. In those moments, the tear between justice and destruction ripped wide. Justice whispered, expose her, let the courts carve up our life fairly. But destruction roared louder, visions of her world crumbling under my hand. One rain-lashed night, as thunder rattled the windows, I stood over her sleeping form, a kitchen knife glinting in my grip. Her face, softened in repose, almost humanized her. Almost. But then I remembered Lily's hesitant whisper, and the blade trembled, not from mercy, but from the exquisite delay. Not yet. Let the poison spread. By chapter's end, the burden had reshaped me. Mirrors showed a gaunt stranger, eyes hollowed by obsession. Lily's school play came and went. I clapped mechanically from the back row, her beaming face a knife twist of what I'd lost. Emily's affair had stolen my family, but my revenge was devouring the remnants. Yet I pressed on, the fire unquenched. Mark's wife filed for separation, my doing, a forged letter of confessions, mailed to her door. Emily's panic calls to him went unanswered. Isolation clawed at her edges. And me? I smiled for the first time in months, tasting the ash of victory. But deep down, the parasite whispered, more. Always more. The second year dawned like a wound reopening, festering under scar tissue. Revenge had become my religion, its rituals etched into every breath. I'd quit my job, not dramatically, but with a curt email citing personal reasons. The firm was too stable, too forgiving. I needed chaos to mirror the storm inside. Freelance gigs trickled in, tax audits for shady businesses, ironically perfect for honing my skills in deception. Money was tight, but it bought time. Time to burrow deeper into their lives like a termite in the foundation. Lily turned 7 amid the wreckage. Her birthday a farce of streamers and forced cheer. Emily baked the cake herself, hands shaking as she frosted, "Love you, Daddy," in lopsided letters. I ate a slice, complimenting the sweetness, while inwardly cataloging the tremor in her voice. She'd grown gaunt too, shadows under her eyes from nights spent scrolling his silent socials. Mark had vanished, fired, divorced, slinking into obscurity after my relentless campaign. Fake reviews tanked his side hustle. Planted rumors reached his family, fracturing bonds I'd once envied. But Emily? She was my masterpiece in progress. I'd frozen joint accounts subtly, forgotten, bills piling like accusations. Her friends whispered, pulling away as I leaked sanitized versions of the truth. Emily's been distant, seeing someone. Isolation was her cage, bars forged from her own lies. The burden evolved, no longer just a weight but a second skin, constricting, suffocating. Dreams turned nightmarish. Lily groaned, hating me for the fractured home. Emily's screams echoing eternally. Awake, doubt clawed occasionally, not regret, but efficiency. Was this justice, or just sadism? In a fevered moment, alone in the attic amid dusty photo albums, I unearthed our wedding pictures. Us, young and laughing, Lily not yet a spark in our eyes. The knife-edge temptation hit. Torch it all, start over. Destruction's siren song, promising oblivion. But justice? No. Vengeance, reasserted. They deserve the pyre. I burned the photos anyway, flames licking faces like vindication. The people around us withered in the fallout. My sister, Clara, confronted me over coffee, her voice sharp as she stirred sugar into bitterness. Tom, you're killing them, and yourself. Lily asks why mommy cries at night. Lily. God, Lily. She was the collateral, her laughter rarer now, replaced by wary glances. School reports noted withdrawal, teachers emailing about playground isolation. Emily's fault, I told myself. But the mirror lied. My cold silences, my absences during her recitals, fueled the chill. One heart-wrenching evening, Lily confronted us both, doll clutched like a shield. Why don't you love each other anymore? Did I do something wrong? Emily dissolved into tears, reaching for her. I pulled Lily away gently, but inside, rage surged. Not at Emily, but at the monster I'd become, letting my war scar my child. The tear widened. Justice demanded their ruin, but destruction threatened to engulf us all. I held Lily tighter, whispering lies of everything's fine, while plotting the endgame. The turning point came not as light, but as gasoline on embers. It was Lily's confession, innocent and devastating, that sealed their fate. We'd taken her to the park, a rare family outing Emily insisted on for appearances. As Lily swung higher, giggling, she slipped. Mommy used to hide in the car with Uncle Mark. She said it was our secret game, but I don't like games that make Daddy sad. The words hung in the air, a child's truth shattering the last facade. Emily's face drained of color, her hand flying to her mouth. I froze, the swings creak mocking us. No kindness here, just revelation, raw and accusing. Lily didn't understand the weight, hopping down to chase butterflies, but for me, it was absolution. Proof. Emily had weaponized our daughter, turning her into a co-conspirator in betrayal. The parasite roared triumph. Doubt evaporated. No more hesitation. Vengeance would be swift, unyielding. The climax brewed in shadows, culminating on the anniversary of that birthday betrayal. I'd lured Mark back into the open with a forged email from Emily. One last meet, for closure. He showed at the rundown motel from their messages, reeking of cheap cologne and desperation. I waited in the shadows, heart pounding like war drums. Emily arrived next, lured by my anonymous note promising evidence to bury Tom. They met in the lobby, voices hushed, bodies close out of habit. I stepped from the dark, recorder in hand, voice steady as steel. Smile for posterity. Flash, photos capturing their instinctive embrace. Their faces twisted, shock, then terror. Tom, no. Emily gasped, but I silenced her with the playback of Lily's words, broadcast from my phone. Our secret game. Mark bolted, but I had his car towed earlier, petty, but poetic. Cops. No, not yet. This was personal. Confrontation spilled into the parking lot, rain sluicing down like tears from indifferent gods. Emily begged, on knees and puddles, makeup rivers on her cheeks. Please, for Lily. Mark swung wildly, a coward's punch grazing my jaw. I didn't flinch. I struck back, not with fists, but words honed to shrapnel. You used our daughter, our blood, for this. I played the recordings, moans, lies, Lily's voice interwoven like a dirge. Bystanders gathered, phones out, the digital guillotine falling. By dawn, it was viral, a fair mom hides behind child. Careers imploded, Emily's teaching job gone, Mark blacklisted forever. Divorce papers served cold, custody battle rigged with evidence. Lily stayed with me, the judge's gavel of vindication. In the aftermath, the burden lifted, not gone but transformed, scar tissue, tough and unyielding. Lily healed in fragments, her laughter tentative but returning. Emily vanished to her sisters, a ghost in tabloids. Mark? A footnote, broken and alone. I watched from afar, the fire banked but warm. Revenge hadn't restored what was lost, but it carved justice from the ruins, a monument to my survival. And in the quiet nights, as Lily slept sound, I'd reflect. The cost was steep. Nights lost to rage, bonds frayed to threads. But the power of retribution? It forged a man unbreakable, a father unyielding. Let go? No. Grip tighter. For in vengeance, I found not peace, but purpose. Moral of the story. In the forge of betrayal, revenge tempers the soul into a blade that cuts deepest the hand that wields it, yet carves eternal justice from the heart's unhealed wounds.